How does a man with no college degree end up with billions, private jets, and the phone numbers of princes and presidents? The story of Jeffrey Epstein isn't just strange, it's disturbing, and it starts in New York City. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born in Brooklyn in 1953. Raised in a middle-class Jewish family, Epstein showed early signs of intelligence, but also manipulation. He dropped out of college, yet somehow landed a teaching job at the elite Dalton School in Manhattan. There, he rubbed shoulders with the children of the wealthy and powerful. One of those connections would change his life. Alan Greenberg, the CEO of Bear Stearns, who gave Epstein his first shot on Wall Street, despite having no formal qualifications. Epstein quickly rose through the financial ranks. By the 1980s, he was managing the money of the ultra-wealthy, but few could ever explain exactly what he did or how he made his fortune. He created a private firm, reportedly managing money for billionaires, including one especially powerful figure, retail mogul and billionaire Les Wexner, the man behind Victoria's Secret. Wexner handed over control of hundreds of millions to Epstein, an unusual amount of trust for someone with such a shadowy background. As the 1990s rolled in, Epstein began living a double life. On the surface, he was a wealthy financier with properties in Manhattan, Palm Beach, New Mexico, Paris, and Little St. James, a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Behind closed doors, rumors of young girls, secret parties, and illegal activities began to swirl. But nothing stuck, for a while. By the early 2000s, cracks started to form. Survivors began to speak out, police began to investigate, and what they found would shake the foundations of justice in America. In Part 2 of the Epstein Files, we'll dive into his 2005 arrest, the controversial plea deal, and the federal cover-up that allowed Epstein to continue operating for years. Hit subscribe, and don't miss what comes next. In 2005, a young girl walked into a Florida police station and told a story that would eventually lead to the arrest of Jeffrey Epstein. What followed was one of the most controversial plea deals in U.S. history, and a cover-up that reached the highest levels of government. Previously in the Epstein Files, we uncovered how a college dropout built a life of luxury funded by mysterious money and even more mysterious friends. Now we explore the first time Epstein was caught and how a broken system let him go free. In March 2005, a 14-year-old girl told Florida police that a man named Jeffrey Epstein paid her $300 for a massage at his Palm Beach mansion. But what actually happened was far more disturbing. Investigators found a pattern. Dozens of young girls, some as young as 13, recruited by other minors to give Epstein massages that quickly turned sexual. The house had hidden cameras, locked rooms, and a revolving door of underage victims. What started as a local investigation became a full-blown criminal case. Despite strong evidence and dozens of accusers, Epstein was offered a secret plea deal in 2008. It was brokered by U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, later appointed Secretary of Labor under Donald Trump. The deal allowed Epstein to plead guilty to just 2 state charges, solicitation and procurement of a minor, and avoid federal prosecution entirely. Here's the kicker. The victims weren't even told. This violated federal law and sparked outrage when it was finally exposed years later. He served just 13 months in a private wing of the Palm Beach jail with a work release program that let him leave during the day and live like a free man. Epstein's legal team was stacked with power players: Alan Dershowitz, Ken Starr, Roy Black. They lobbied prosecutors behind closed doors and pressured witnesses. Somehow it worked. Even as more girls came forward, Epstein remained untouchable, shielded by wealth, influence, and silence. He continued to operate freely, flying celebrities and royals to his island, throwing lavish parties, and maintaining ties to global elites. For over a decade, Epstein remained in the shadows. But in 2019, the walls finally began to close in. A new investigation, new charges, and finally the arrest that would change everything. In Part 3 of the Epstein Files, we'll uncover the FBI raid, the infamous Black Book, the suspicious death in a Manhattan jail cell, and the questions that still remain.